Chapter 7. A Visit to Lim. It was now nearly the end of Annie's stay at Uppercross. Soon she would move to Kelling Lodge and stay with Lady Rothschild before going to live in Bath. But Anne's last day at Uppercross were not what she had expected. A friend of Captain Wordsworth was staying in Lynn for the winter with his family, so Captain Wordsworth went to visit them for 2 days. When he came back to Uppercross, he spoke about his visit very warmly. His friend, Captain Harwood, had welcomed him very kindly, he said, and he had found the countryside around Lim beautiful. He was so pleased with Lim that the young people decided they wanted to see it themselves. Louisa wanted to go more than anyone else, and she decided that they should go at once. It was only 17 miles away, and so a plan was made. They would go together. Charles, Mary, Anne, Henrietta, Louise, and Captain Warford. They would stay for one night in an inn, and they would come home the following day. They left Uppercross early in the morning and arrived in Leith at lunchtime. After finding an inn to stay in, the first thing they did was walk down to the sea. Because it was November, the town itself was very quiet. Charles, Mary, Anne, and the Miss Montrose walked along the seafront, while Captain Warford went to visit his friend, Captain Harvey. He returned very soon with Captain and Miss Harwood and Captain Benwich, who was following them. Captain Warford had already told his friends from Uppercross about Captain Benwich. He was an excellent young man, and he had been engaged to Captain Harvey's sister, Fanny. Sadly, Fanny had died in the summer when Captain Warford was at sea, and he was now living with the Harveys. He was a quiet, serious man who lived reading and had some strong feelings about things. He was deeply obsessed by Fanny's death, and could see at once that there was great sadness in him, and he did not easily join in the conversation. The Harveys were very friendly and welcoming. Captain Harvey was a tall, dark man with a sensible face. He was a true gentleman and spoke warmly and politely. Mr. Harvey's marriage was not as perfect as her husband, but she had the same good character. Any friends of Captain Wordsworth were friends of theirs, too, they said. So, after walking around the seafront, they all went to visit the Harveys' small but comfortable house. Captain Warford and his group then returned to the inn for dinner, but in the evening Captain Harvey and Captain Warford came to visit them. Anne sat next to Captain Warford, and they started to talk. He read a lot, and so they talked about poetry and their favorite writers. Anna could see that Captain Warford was full of the deepest and saddest feelings. She told him about writers whose work, she believed, might help to relieve him from his sadness. She found it easy to try and help other people escape their sadness, but she was never able to escape her own. The next morning, Anne and Henrietta were the first to wake up, so they walked down to the sea before breakfast. Captain Warford and Louisa came to join them, and they all walked back towards the inn together. When they got to the steps up from the beach, there was a gentleman dressed in mourning wanting to come down from the top. He stopped to one side to let them go past, and Anne looked up. She saw that he was admiring her. The sea art had given her pretty face at fresh. Young looked once more, and her eyes were bright. Captain Warford turned back at the moment, and he saw the gentleman watching Anne. He looked quickly at Anne, and his eyes seemed to say, "That man admires you." and I too can see a little of the old Aunt Elliot again. They walked back to the inn and were just finishing their breakfast when they heard a carriage driving away. Captain Wentworth went to the window. "It is the man we saw at the beach," he said with a quick look at Anne. "Can you tell me the name of the gentleman who just left the inn?" he asked the waiter when he came into the breakfast room. "Yes, sir. It was Miss Elliot. He is a very rich man, sir. He arrived late last night and now he is going to Bath and London." "Elliot!" they all cried at once. "It must be our cousins, our father's heir," cried Anne, who was very excited. "The gentleman was in mourning, and our cousin's wife died a while ago. How strange! He was staying in the same inn as us. Oh, I am sorry that we did not meet him. Annie, you must tell our father that we saw Miss Elliot next time you ride to Bath." Annie said nothing, but she knew that her father and Elizabeth had been very upset by Mr. Elliott's behaviour. She also knew that they had not forgiven him, so she felt very sure they would not want to hear that Annie and Mary had seen him in Lynn.